the real estate market, it's crazy right now. There's no other word for it, and we keep hearing that recession word. Oof! Home prices have soared across the country. Charlotte, for example, where our studios are, making national news. We are up nearly 15% over last year. Tampa, Dallas, Phoenix, all seeing double-digit increases as well. Rachel Cruze is the author of Know Yourself, Know Your Money, and she joins us now. Hello to you, Rachel. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely, Anna. Thanks so much for having me.
So as wild as this ride may seem, you say don't panic. Why?
Yeah, don't panic. I mean, usually what you're hearing or reading on Twitter or seeing on the news, there's just this doom and gloom and this fear of, oh my gosh, is there a housing bubble? Is it going to be like 2008? You know, what is happening? What is happening? And so I'm just here to say, from the data points that we keep seeing over and over again, it is not going to crash. Now, as we're talking right now, the real estate market has stabilized more, which is good. It's gone back to normal, meaning that there's not 83 offers, 100 grand over asking price, like there was even 6 months ago, 12 months ago. So it very much has normalized, but there is not this bubble that's gonna pop. The real estate market is not gonna crash. Again, it's going to smooth out. It's gonna be calmer than it was, but it's not gonna crash.
Well, I have to say, when we moved here all the way from Australia, we sold our home, we sold our cars, we sold everything we owned almost, and came and we're like, gotta buy a new this, a new that, a new this, a new that. And then buying a home in this market was nuts. We got into a bidding war on one house, lost on an offer on another house, and everybody said, well, if you'd come 6 months ago, this would have been 15 houses that you lost before you finally got one. So for the advice for families wanting to buy a home right now, sometimes you can't help it. We had to buy a house. We moved here, we had to buy a home. I guess we could have rented, but what advice do you have in that stressful process?
Yes, well, our homes are very personal, right? I mean, it's where we have dinner, it's where we raise our kids, so it's a very emotional purchase, but it's also the largest purchase that majority of people make in their lifetime is their home. So you want to be smart about it. You want your home to be a blessing, not a curse. So we recommend being debt-free, having a fully funded emergency fund in the bank of 3 to 6 months of expenses, and then you can start saving up for a down payment. So I would love for your down payment to be 20% so you can avoid PMI. I know that's not always the case, but if you have 5-10% to put down on a 15-year fixed rate, you want your mortgage payment to be no more than 1/4 of your take-home pay. So it's kind of the formula that we use because, again, I want your income to do other things. I want it to help invest in retirement. I want you to be able to give and spend and save for other things. And so when all of your money is locked up just in your mortgage, it's really hard to do other things financially. So not to be house poor, right? But for your house to be a blessing, not a curse, is the goal.
Well, and then as you move in, there are always going to be things, even if you don't accidentally purchase a lemon or something, there are going to be little mini lemons that you're going to have to make into lemonade that, in every single home, right? So, what type of little mini budget should we put aside for things like, oh, the AC this, or the drainage system that, things that are house related, not necessarily furniture, but things that could actually happen structurally with the home that might come up. What kind of a fund do we need for that?
For sure. Well, that's why I always recommend having that 3 to 6 months of expenses in the bank before you buy, because just like you said, sometimes the cheapest day of a house is the day you buy it, and then you move in, you're like, oh wow, home ownership is expensive. It costs a lot of money to keep up with this, and if you don't have an emergency fund available for when the emergencies come up, it causes you to go into debt, which I do not want for you. So again, that emergency fund can cover things in your household, but you also could save up a sinking fund, meaning you just put a little bit of money away each month into kind of just this house fund over here. So when something at the house happens, you can tap into that versus your emergency fund.
Yeah, well, you have so many amazing tips in your reels, even on Instagram, that are little 15-second tips. So everybody at home, you find her, Rachel Cruze. She is amazing. Rachel, thank you so much for your time. We're a lot smarter today about the housing market and our money. So thank you so much. Thanks for coming on Your Day.